How about Jeff Switzer?
Hi, my name is Jeff Switzer. Last week I spent 16 hours over 3 days at a Palomar-Pomerado Health Planning meeting with 50-plus PPH folks at the California Center for the Arts. This allowed me to meet many of the great people who work for PPH. It is clear these folks provide wonderful service to the community. I see a number of them here today. However, we're going to talk about buildings and development agreements, not about the wonderful service they provide. The agreements as laid out are unfavorable to Escondido. Many points in the MOU and development agreement with PPH appear unfavorable. After months of agreement, we could have reached this, and why we have this last-minute agreement is just not clear to me, with very little time for public and council review. Does the council honestly believe it understands the details of this major agreement? Are we going to hear, oh, I was misinformed, I didn't understand? Now that an agreement exists, let's give it the time it deserves in the review process. And to get into some details, Escondido is required by the agreements to complete road upgrades, Citricado, Nordal 78, etc., and construction regardless of the cost, availability of funds, or the city's priorities. New facilities could be put on the site which require upgraded roads, and Escondido would have to pay the bill. PPH's payments are completely limited. Citricado costs are calculated such that PPH's $19 million contribution plus sales tax is essentially set as the cost. It doesn't matter what it actually costs to build that. We had a previous development here where somebody's going to build a water line. The developer was going to build that water line no matter what it cost. Okay, that's not how this agreement's being done. Escondido is required to provide all city services in unlimited quantities with no impact fees for undefined projects of an undefined size. PPH can avoid using eminent domain on phase 1 of the PMC Memorandum of Understanding to acquire the property for the West Office Building by claiming fluctuating market conditions and evolving medical demands of the district have changed their decision. In other words, that office building can either be built 2 years after this agreement or 2 years after the ERTC opens, which puts it like 2013 or later. And if it doesn't, who's going to be around then that's going to go to court with PPH and enforce that agreement? It's not enforceable. PPH makes no firm commitments on undertaking phase 2 or phase 3 of the PMC MOU. A couple more here to read. The agreement gives PPH total control over the ERTC property. Escondido has essentially no say in future PPH or third-party development on the site. PPH essentially doesn't have to get any approvals for anything they do with the property. In Poway, PPH was treated the Pomerado site as a normal site and is going through a normal approval process. If they want changes in the future, they will get new approvals. Why is Escondido treated as a second-class citizen versus Poway?
Can you sum up?
Yep. Looking at that parking issue, if you calculate parking for this site the same way as Pomerado, you'd have over 3,000 parking spaces. Also, PPH can subdivide the property and all the limits on transportation fees apply to new owners no matter the new uses or density. It's also not clear what happens if they transfer the rights. Some language indicates PPH may believe they can avoid part or all of the $13 million payment by claiming it is more than their fair share. And it's spelled out that way. They don't say they want to pay it. They say it's more than their fair share. And finally, PPH has a variety of ways to not fulfill its commitments. Escondido has essentially none. The language has been written completely in PPH's favor. Thank you for your tolerance. So
Thank you.
I tried to talk fast.
I know it. We appreciate that. Thanks.